The hosts of BrackUSallogy are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
When is the last time that your guys' dick got direct sunlight?
Not through a window, like outside.
Well, I mean, through a window, I think would be okay. Like if it's straight on, you know.
July.
Did you go to a nudist beach in Mexico?
No, but I was nude at a couple of points.
While outside?
Yeah. We have a balcony.
That doesn't mean you had to be naked on it.
No, but it's nice.
The warmth was good.
Yeah. Nice gentle breeze on the bag.
I mean, mine technically would probably only be a couple weeks before Dan. Probably camping. Whip it out to go pee, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think about that. I guess that's probably mine too, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't think I've ever had direct sunlight on my dick. But yeah, that does make sense if you pull it out just to pee.
You need some vitamin D for the D, bro. You got to get it out sometimes.
I mean, my bathrooms have windows, so I mean, there's sunlight coming in for those, for two of them.
But I mean, like direct, you know, like you're getting a little bit of a tan.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes me to pee, but I don't think it's going to have that effect necessarily. But yeah, probably camping, I guess.
All right.
Because, I mean, at the other points during camping, it was in your mouth. So, yeah, probably just when I had to pee while camping.
Yeah. And usually that was in the dark.
Thank you for doing the peeing beforehand. I appreciate that. All right, follow-up question. Has your anus ever gotten direct sunlight?
Yes.
He was way too sure of that.
That was very quick, Dan.
Well, all right. So this, I don't know if I should say this.
Do it now.
Yeah.
You moon people all the time.
And that has been a thing that I've done since I was young. And,
since time immemorial.
One of the things that I used to do is you take, the banana and the kiwis.
Sure.
And you
full
stuff
fruit
them,
basket.
Yeah, fruit basket. You stuff them between your legs, you bend over. And I used to do that in broad daylight to a variety of people. I'm
Give us
glad
an example
that,
of a person that you did that to.
I mean, all of my really good friends.
I'm so glad I'm not a really good friend. I'm merely a
co-host.
podcast
All of a sudden.
I don't do that now because the banana has shriveled and the kiwis have dipped quite a bit since
the banana's ready for banana bread. And
yeah.
I was so confused at first because we were talking about his bare ass and then he started to talk about a banana and I did not know where that story was going to go. It took me a moment to realize that was a metaphor there at work. I imagine it's probably hard for you to flex into those angles these days.
It is. It's a good way to throw out a back,
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever. I don't know that I've ever just had bare butt out in the sun like that.
I don't know that I have either. I used to go streaking all the time when I was a kid, but it was always at night, so it was never like midday.
So
just by yourself running. Just by yourself running around the neighborhood naked?
I mean, often it was not alone.
Who are you running naked with?
Just checking.
Oh, wait. Was the other person naked? So it's just two people running naked in a neighborhood?
I mean, there were multiple people. So I had like four really...
It was literally a flash mob.
Yeah. I had like four really good friends and we would hang out all the time. And one of our friends had a hot tub. So we would go hang out in his hot tub. And then because we were young and dumb, we would be drinking, and then we'd be like, yeah, it's time to go streaking. So then we would all get out of the hot tub, take off our shorts, and run through the neighborhood.
Okay, hold on now. Was this all? What were the demographics of this group?
All basically copies of me.
Okay, so four Matts are sitting in a hot tub. This sounds like a setup for a really bad joke or math problem, one of the two. Four Matts are sitting in a hot tub, slightly inebriated, and then just one of you decides, hey, we all need to be naked while in each other's company, and then run around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You don't
Somebody
So-
wanted to see some penis.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes just a little bit of extra dick is okay. Yeah, I mean, so one time at my place, we all decided to go streaking, and I lived in a trailer park, and then we would run through the trailer park. There was like a path that took us into the rich neighborhood, like right next door, and we were on that path, and my buddy Alan was running in
Alan.
front of everybody. And
He was the fastest nude.
there was a car that had pulled up and parked at the end of the path, like the entrance into the rich neighborhood. And we all saw it. Alan did not. So he kept running towards the car until he realized there was a person in the car. He was like 5 feet away and then went, oh shit, and turned around, and we had left. Yeah, so it would happen somewhat regularly.
Was there like a single person in your friend group who was continuously the one that suggested streaking need to happen?
No, I think that it was a pretty even split, to be honest.
Interesting. I feel like there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I'll talk to my therapist.
Hello, and welcome back to BrackUSallogy, the podcast that definitively determines more about your co-host than you knew going into them. Hey, there we go. Every seat I sit in is a hot seat. I'm Scott Grubb.
I'm on the hot seat now, Charles. Matt Robinson.
And I am the best interviewer, Dan Default.
This week, we continue our 3-part BrackUSallogy series, celebrating 1 year as a podcast. We are going to put, this week, Matt Robinson in the hot seat and get to know a little bit more about Matthew. Matt, how are you feeling?
It's been 10 years. It's the first time he's ever said it right.
How are you feeling going into the hot seat?
I'm feeling good. My dog is currently getting under the blanket. Yep, and that's why my bed's never made. I'm ready. I'm ready to answer some questions.
Good. I suspect you are less likely to commit a potential felony than I was when I did this, but I think we're ready to go. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get into it.
First question.
Is
Where were you born?
I was going to read the first question.
Oh, my bad. Well, sorry. I forgot that
Hey,
quickly.
hey, Dan, what's the first question?
First question is, Matthew, where were you born?
I was born in Denver, Colorado. I was born at Rose Medical Center, which as a child, if you are in and or around the Denver area, there is a building right next to I-25 that has the word Rose in it, but it's the Grizzly Rose. So for most of my life, I thought that I was born at the Grizzly Rose. But Rose Medical Center is where I was born.
I imagine that a few pregnancies probably started at the Grizzly Rose.
It's a likely possibility, and at least one pregnancy ended there. That sounded worse than I meant, but
Came to a proper conclusion.
yes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
I imagine some kid being there for their 21st birthday. Mom and dad are there too. Like, we conceived you right there on that table.
That was it.
Second question. How big is your family?
So I don't have a direct family. I don't have a huge direct family. I've got one sister, and then my mom and my dad. My sister has 3 kids spread out places. So 2 of them are with my grandma, with my mom. And then one of them lives in Alabama. And then outside of my direct family, I have a large number of cousins and aunts and uncles. And yeah, it's very large. So on my dad's side, I'm the youngest cousin of my generation. Wait, is that right?
I don't know.
You tell us.
No. Yes, that is right. That is correct. I'm the youngest cousin on my dad's side. On my mom's side, more aunts and uncles, but I'm not. I'm like square in the middle.
Stuck in the middle with Matt. All right, Matt, I already know the first part of this answer, but what's your favorite band and type of music?
So my favorite band is Census Fail. They are the first band I ever saw in concert, and the only band that I actively go to their concerts. I was like 13, and they were opening for a band called Finch. My favorite type of music is sad music. I like emo music. I'm very much stuck in the early 2000s, complaining about the girl in your class, or I do like some rap. I like Eminem. I just found Ren on Instagram, he's fucking amazing
That's very good.
everything he does. But mostly I like music that makes me feel sad because it makes me happy.
That's
Did
confusing.
Did you ever have like the emo?
Only your animal obsessed dumbass would say emu.
Did you ever have the emo like hair over the eye?
So I grew my hair out a little bit once, but it was well after like that fad had occurred. Like I think my license when I was 21 years old had the longer hair. The problem is that my hair has this. It's very. I don't know how to put it, but it didn't do well with that hairstyle. So it would essentially go straight down, but then when I had to like get it out of my eyes, it would just bend directly. So it didn't look super great.
How deep into the emo did you get? Like, did you have studded belt? Are we talking all black everything? Like,
I mean, I definitely had studded belts. Like I had multiple. I definitely had a white one. Like I had a black one. But I never wore girl jeans or skinny jeans. At least not in the same way that like today's skin. Like it was different in 2008. Yeah. So not very far into it. It's more just like a sense of being than it is my fashion decisions.
Sure. Understood. Where are you? All right. What has been your best and worst job, and why was best job working for me? What about working for me made it the best?
So my best job, I worked at a pizza place in high school. It was called Nick and Willie's. It was a take and bake pizza place. This is 100% true.
That's one letter from being a totally different establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nick and Willie's take and bake pizza. I was the manager at some point of the store in high school. It was a fun gig. Every now and then I will have dreams that I go back and like start working there again. This is a true story. And I loved it until I graduated high school, and then I needed to like live. And it was kind of hard to do so on a franchised Canadian pizza place.
So was it like
salary.
Papa Murphy's?
Yeah. Yeah, very, very similar. We did personal pizzas that we would cook there, but that's the only cooking we did there. Everything else was make it, prepare it, wrap it up, give it to them to take home and bake.
What, did you just have like a little like toaster oven for the mini ones?
Basically, like one of those like conveyor belt ovens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The worst job I ever had
working for Scott?
I didn't mind working for Scott, strangely enough. You'd think that we would have had an issue there, but it wasn't like he was actually our boss. You know, he just was a figurehead.
Fuck does that mean? I could have fired you at any point. I
But you
did
didn't?
have to fire one of our friends.
That's true. However, I worked at UPS for a hot minute towards the end of high school
Now I'm picturing
into
Matt in
that
those
summer.
brown shorts.
Not like that. I worked in the warehouse. So
I'm still going to picture you in brown
you know how you guys make fun of me because I'm shorter than you?
Yes.
So I walked in like to training. The training was a day. And in the training class, somebody came in and they're like, all right, so these are the positions that we have to fill. And the options were a loader, an unloader, a couple other things, and some specifics within that. And he said, everybody stand up. And everybody stood up. And then he pointed at me and said, all right, you're the shortest. You're going to load air canisters. Air canisters are these containers that they would put on airplanes that would be filled with next day and 2-day air packages that were about 5'5" height. I'm 5'9". Like I'm average height. You can Google it. I'd hit my head every single day. I've got a scar on my back because I walked underneath one of the like metal ramps that came out and it like tore my back open. It was the worst. And there was a certain company that would ship a tremendous number of boxes. Those boxes would either be filled with like 10 to 20 pound electronic equipment or completely empty, and you had no idea until you picked it up.
Hey, wait, they were just shipping empty boxes?
It seems like a waste of money.
Oh, return. Okay.
Yeah, ton of return boxes. So you'd go to pick one up, and it's like, this could be nothing, or I never got so frustrated as I did in that warehouse. I hated it.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
What else you got? Pepper me with questions, bitches.
All right. Take us back to your childhood. What did you want to be when you grew up?
So I blacked out most of my childhood for therapeutic reasons, but I do recall telling my mom at one point that I wanted to be an archaeologist. And I think that I had that wrong. I wanted to be a paleontologist. I wanted to find dinosaur bones is what I wanted to do.
So like Ross from Friends.
1000%. Yes. Because that would have been cool. And then you go to like places and you just be like, I found a new dinosaur. And then you get to name a dinosaur. That would be dope as hell.
The Matasaurus Rex.
No, I don't think that's what I would have called it, but I'd have come up with something. Yeah, so I wanted to be an archaeologist of some kind. Funny thing is, never saw Indiana Jones until like 2 years ago. So I don't know where I got archaeologist from.
Look, dinosaurs are always cool.
I agree.
Fast forward a bit now. What got you into podcasting?
All right, so this is going to be a tearjerker. So,
Okay.
Go back to Scott's answer last week. Most of the podcasts that I listen to are comedy based in a lot of ways. So because of that, I used podcasts very much as like a parasocial relationship, especially between like 2018-ish to today. I had many not great times. And so like in 2020, just as a blanket, we'll get it out there. 2020, I went through some really bad anxiety and depression and stopped drinking. And that caused other health related issues. But truly, anytime I would go to the hospital because my anxiety was insane, I would listen to podcasts, and it would help me to get through the shittiness of a lot of what was happening. And it just continued. And I just like, parasocial relationships are a thing where listeners will have or feel like they know hosts very, very well. And some people like to take that to additional levels. I do not. I just enjoy, connecting with people when they get to talk. So when Scott brought up the idea of wanting to do a podcast, the idea of being that for someone else is kind of cool. I like that.
Nice.
So what is your over under in like preferred fan fiction about Matt?
Dude, realistically,
Mm-hmm.
being 100% true with you, I would love for there to be a fan fiction about me.
You realize, though, if there's fan fiction about you, it's going to involve the two of us as well.
I don't care. Honestly, like I think that would be one of the greatest honors that we could achieve as a podcast.
It's probably going to be very similar to the Supernatural fan fiction.
Hey,
all right, bracketeers, you know what you have to do. Write a fan
you're on call.
fiction.
All right, well, let's make it a little easy for our bracketeers. What's the next question, Dan?
If Matt, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be and why?
So I'm really bad at being introspective in a lot of ways. So I'll give one that I think is true and that I want to be true, which is compassionate. I feel like I'm fairly compassionate. I will give one that I think other people have said about me, which is obstinate. This one's going to be hyphenated. A giving lover.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Look, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else. Like I realistically, in most of my life, I've given more in my relationships than I've generally asked in return. So giving, we'll use giving as a.
For the record, buddy, I do think you're compassionate.
Oh, thanks.
I fucking know you're obstinate, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Asparagus, green Jello, Tetris.
It's not just you
Joyce
two who have said
Joyce
that to me either.
Byers.
I've been told that by many a person, people that I work with, people that I talk to once in 6 months. It comes up.
You might be the most stubborn person I've ever met. Love you, buddy. You're also compassionate. What is your first most memorable pet?
So the first pet that I can remember is my parents always had Shih Tzus when we were growing up. So I remember Bandit. That was a dog that we had, but I don't remember much about him other than that he was a black and white Shih Tzu with a mask. My most memorable pet is probably my cat Turtle. I had a cat named Turtle.
Okay.
So my best friend and I lived together. We were roommates after high school, and his sister found somebody who was giving away kittens. And she's like, "You guys want a kitten?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And then so they brought her over. It was a black cat.
So it wasn't even a tortoiseshell or a tortie.
No, it was a black cat. Look, this is where the name came from. Okay. We were watching Heroes at the time. Do you remember the show Heroes?
Oh yeah,
Great
Save
show.
the Cheerleaders, Save the World.
Yep. Either season 2 or season 3, Matt Parker, who is the one with telepathy and like telepathic powers. Yep. He gets transported randomly to like. He gets transported randomly to Africa somewhere, and he wakes up, and then he just hears a voice, and he looks around, and all he sees is a turtle, and he goes, "Thanks, turtle," and it just was like, "All right, perfect. That's the name of the cat." But she was awesome. So she would sleep under the covers with me. She hated everybody else. It was wonderful. I loved her. She got pregnant after she got out for like 3 months. Like she just went missing for like 3 months, then came back. She gave birth. She had 5 kittens. I named 3 of them Chuck, Fred, and Ted. And I don't know what ended up happening with them. I left them with my mom. And anyway, Turtle.
All right.
Is it my go? I can't remember.
Yours. You're the odd ones.
That helps. So what is a piece of advice that you would give someone?
So this is one that since we asked Scott about this last week, I've thought a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in unprecedented times currently.
I'm so fucking tired of living in unprecedented times.
I'm not a huge fan of them myself.
I would love some precedent. I would love some precedent, you know? If I could get a little side of precedent, I'd be so fucking excited.
Y'all got
anyway,
more of that precedent?
Yeah, got some precedent I can rely on, please. All right. Anyway, sorry. You just stressed me out real quick.
Yeah, I mean, so I posted on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, a while back because, look, let's be real. We've got some shitty stuff going on in the world, specifically in our country. But the one thing that I would give as advice comes from a book that I read that I love. And the general theme is it's shitty right now. Like it sucks. It's dark. It's windy. It's raining on us. But it's going to get sunny again. And then it's going to get bad again. And then it's going to get sunny again. And the biggest piece of advice that I could give is to remember that you will be warm again. Like even if it's 4 years down the road, there's going to be a time where we're going to be good again. And take advantage of when you do find that time.
Solid advice.
I'm a little upset about going first here. I feel like I should have realized I needed to take time to think about these questions in advance. Next up, what would you say is a pivotal decision that you feel like changed the path of your life?
Okay, honestly,
hanging out with us.
I mean, so truly what I was going to say is talking to Scott, because there was realistically, look, I've got a lot of decisions that I've made, but I'm trying to think of a positive one because a lot of them haven't done super well for me.
I was a positive decision in someone's life.
So, all right. Scott moved to our building and started working with us right after I had done some unfortunate things in my life. I made some poor decisions. And then he came in and was all happy, go lucky, and everybody liked him. And I was like, fuck this guy. I hate this person. He used to wear bow ties all the time.
He's so charismatic and charming, and I fucking hate him.
And at some point, you had some stuff happen in your life as well.
I also made the exact same bad decisions.
Yeah. And we were
P, some might say.
We were ordered to not ordered, order's the wrong word. We were asked to like clean out this closet, just him and I for some reason. And I was like, I don't wanna. But I made the decision to go do it. And then we started talking. And that's when we learned that we were very, very similar people in a lot of ways. We talked about Anna Kendrick. We spent a long time talking. And I think that kind of just, launched our I was already friends with Dan before that. Because he had been there before and didn't wear bow ties. But
what do you have against bow ties, you stubborn motherfucker?
Well, clearly I'm much less charming and charismatic. Because
I didn't say that.
We made friends like pretty easily.
We did. That's true.
Your camera went all funky again.
My video went.
You got to get uncomfortably close to it. There it goes. And there you go. Yeah, we were in the closet cleaning it up. We connected about Anna Kendrick. I think we talked about Diet Pepsi. I think we talked about music a little bit.
It's true. I feel like I didn't give you a chance before that in any way. And I think that allowed us to connect, which led to becoming friends and enjoying each other's company.
I positively impacted someone's life. Look at me go. All right.
All right.
Hey,
so if you could go,
buddy.
Matt, if you could go back in time, what's one thing you would do differently?
Wear bow ties.
Nope, that's not it. Okay, so realistically, this is another one I've thought about. I would go back to high school and I would do my homework. So I never went to college. I know both of you went to college. Most people that I know and work with, I never went to college. I got upset because I didn't get accepted into the colleges I wanted to because my GPA sucked. Even though I scored really high on, my standardized testing, I was always a good test taker, somewhat intelligent. Because I never did my homework, I had a shitty GPA, and I think I would have adjusted that. I would go back and redo that. I also think just high school gets like a bad rep in general. Like, man, just being able to go hang out with your friends and learn shit, like, you don't get another time for that very often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no qualms about my high school days. Do you have recurring dreams, or have you ever had any recurring dreams?
I have a lot of dreams. I don't often have recurring dreams, but there's like a setting that's recurring. And it's generally it's generally one of those dreams that like you don't tell people about, right? That's generally what happens in the dream at this setting. In the morning? Sometimes.
Okay.
So it's a good thing we're about to talk about it on a podcast.
Well, no, all I'm talking about is the setting. But when I have those dreams, for some reason, it almost is always around this setting. It's a monster truck rally.
Grave digger.
Like legitimately.
Sunday.
I think it was the first wet dream I ever had. It was a monster truck rally. And it was just, yeah. But that setting will come up every now and then. And I'm like,
okay, hold on.
Nice choice of words.
Are you like in the pit, in the truck, in the stands?
Looking at the tires, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
it's some nice mud flaps.
I'm going to be honest. I think more often than not, I'm like in the center of the, like where the trucks are driving around.
So they're just driving around you. Fireworks are going off. There's lots of banging happening from the fireworks.
Yeah.
And you're just like in the dirt. And okay, all right, that's interesting. You're the center of the show.
Yeah,
you're the main event, and the trucks are just like for fodder.
I don't know exactly what that says about me, but yeah, that's generally what ends up happening. It's not always a dirty dream, just as an FYI. But
I think it tells us you're an explosive and exciting lover.
Yeah,
who's also apparently generous. Giving, yeah. All right. Good to know.
It's a bad idea.
Well, outside of monster truck rallies, what superpower would you want to have? And it can be only one.
It can only be one. There's a book that I've read. I think I've talked about this when we talked about superpowers in the cold open, where a character has the ability to absorb and expel injuries. I would like that superpower. Like if somebody has a concussion, I can just go like take it away from them, but then I can give it to someone else. And I think it would be really fun to heal Dan's foot and give it to Scott for a little while.
I also think that would be amazing. I would love that.
It would only be for like an hour or so, but then I would just like hold it until somebody else pissed me off, and then I'd give them a bum foot.
So caveat about that, do you, until you give that, ailment or injury to somebody else, do you suffer from
No.
that injury? Oh, so you just store it and you can just pop somebody with it whenever you want without any.
He takes it, he puts it in his fanny pack, and then when it's time, he pulls it back out and throws it at someone.
I do have to touch them, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Superpowered by Drew Hayes, in case you're wondering what book that is.
You find out that tonight you won the lottery. How are you spending those winnings? What's the first thing you do?
So there's the real world answer, which is pay off debt, right?
Sure.
But that's boring. So realistically, I would buy 2 houses. I would buy a house for my mom and I would buy a house for me. And then I would buy movers because I would never have to move anything again myself because I hate moving. Moving sucks. And I would move into that house immediately. That's the real answer. I don't need anything crazy.
What would be like your most like extravagant, just I've got fuck you money type purchase?
I've been seeing a lot of, so I've never been one for VR because I think it's dumb just standing there with your headset on. But I've been seeing a lot of ads for like the omnidirectional like treadmills that exist for VR. I think that would probably be I would set up a room in said house that just has like 4 of those.
So you could like actually get some exercise while we play Fortnite.
Exactly. And I would make you come over to do the same.
Yeah, I need the encouragement.
We only run like 3,000 meters in a match, so every 20 minutes, just 3,000 meters sprinting.
All right, Matthew, this is the last of our general questions. When was the last time you cried?
So I think there are 2 answers to this, right? You've got happy cry and then you have like actual sad cry. So happy cry. I don't know if a tear actually slid down my face, but I definitely teared up at my buddy Derek's wedding. Seeing him happy and getting married. And that was definitely a happy cry. If it existed. The sad cry. So a few years ago, my favorite book series, the 4th book came out. Spoilers for the Stormlight Archive. And in the 4th book, I couldn't read it for a while because it came out in 2020 and I was in a really bad headspace. So I couldn't read it for a couple years. Because it deals a lot with like mental illness and just depression and all of the things that I was going through regularly. But man, towards the end of that book, there's a character in the book who doesn't believe that he deserves any powers or any responsibility or being in charge and goes through and makes a ton of mistakes. And he is addicted to a drug. He drinks a lot, like all of the poor things to try to numb himself. And in the 4th book, he finally like gets to a point where he says like, I deserve this and I deserve to be happy. And I don't need the other things to, put me in my place basically. And he's the best friend of the main character who I connect with very, very well. And he gets killed like bad by a character that was a part of their group, like a part of their friends, and was completely betrayed. Man, I was driving to work and listening to that book happen. And I got to that and I had to pull over because my eyes would not stop watering. Like it was this just, and it wasn't even necessarily him dying, but the main character realizing it and finding out what happened and like just because he ends up going into this deep dark hole and it's just a whole thing. But man, it was moving in many ways. That's probably the last time I had a real good cry.
All right. Excuse me. Now we need to move into some more out there oddball random questions for you. What is your all-time favorite word?
This feels like a pointed question for some reason. My favorite word. Like favorite word to say or just in general?
Just your favorite word.
Fuck.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's probably mine.
It's very
probably
versatile.
is fuck. Yeah, it's a very versatile word. I honestly, I don't know. I'm going to say fuck. I'm going to say fuck is my favorite word. It is a good word because it can be used in so many different ways. It can be good. It can be bad. It can be an adjective.
It can be a noun, a verb, an adjective, an adverb.
Yeah,
It can be just about anything.
You can make an entire sentence with just that word.
Yeah, I think fuck is going to be that's going to be my favorite word.
Fair enough.
All right. So I think we've heard a couple of the ridiculous things that you've done as a kid, but what is the most ridiculous thing that you did as a kid that, looking back on it, you're slightly embarrassed about now?
Is it always suggesting to go streaking with your friends?
I wasn't always the one that suggested it, but I did suggest it every now and then. I mean, all right. So between 6th and 7th grade, my family moved. So we moved. I grew up in North Denver. I went to one middle school, had friends for all of elementary school through 6th grade, and then in the summer between 6th and 7th grade, we moved to Broomfield, which was a hot minute away. Mm-hmm. I was just telling somebody about this the other day. And I was so mad because I had like all my friends were there. Like I lost all my friends. And so one day I got like so upset that I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to my old school and meet my friends after school and like get to see them again. So I rollerbladed from.
That's not a short trip.
No, no. Let me tell you exactly. 4.5 miles roughly. And in addition to that, so between 120th and 104th, which is 16 full blocks, right? It's almost entirely uphill. So I'm on rollerblades and I rollerblade all the way there. Walking would take an hour and 40 minutes, according to Google Maps. And then I got there and I didn't see any of my friends. And then I had to rollerblade home and then explain to my parents what I did and that it was not good. It was bad. And then I shortly made new friends after that. But still, I was pissed. I was so mad.
How were your parents? How did your parents react learning that you had rollerbladed for 8 miles?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Like, were you supposed to be somewhere during that time?
No, I think that their school had started like the day before, and so it was like the day before my school was about to start, and so I was like, I'm off. I might as well just go. And they were working, so
okay,
yeah.
All right, I've got a two-parter.
Okay.
What keeps you up at night, and in turn, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
I mean, you probably keep me up at night more than anybody else. But if we're taking playing video games out of the equation, what makes it difficult for me to sleep is just general anxiety about what's happening in the world, how I'm going to die, and my dog needing to sleep or needing to go outside. One of the two.
Sure.
What gets me up in the morning, I really don't like to let other people down. So I have to go to work so that my boss isn't upset at me.
Hey, I mean, it's something.
It's a motivation.
I'd be upset with you if you all didn't get out of bed in the morning as well. Just
Same.
on the record.
All right. Switching gears a little bit. If you could have dinner with any celebrity, alive or dead, if they're not with us anymore, you can bring them back. Who would that be, and what would you ask them?
Can I have two answers to this?
Why not?
Yeah, I don't make the rules.
Okay. Who the fuck does? All right, I would have dinner with Donald Trump so that I could ask him, what the fuck is wrong with you, and were you dropped on your head as a child? Realistically, I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the same room as that orange buffoon. So, I would like to... Alive or dead, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I want to have dinner with D.B. Cooper and ask him where his money is.
All right.
It's a good selection.
Solve the decades-old mystery.
I mean, at the very least, if the money's not there, I could announce it all to the world and then get renowned that way. And if the money is there, I don't have to tell anybody, and I just have a bunch of D.B. Cooper's money.
There you go. All right. I've got another multi-parter here. This one is a fill in the blank with 3 blanks. Okay. And for the blanks, the fill-in spots can be anyone like famous. It can be a fictional person. It can be an animated cartoon character, whatever you want it to be. Okay.
Okay.
My ideal partner looks like blank, has the intelligence of blank, and has a personality like blank. Craft your ideal partner.
All right. My ideal partner looks like Rhea Ripley.
Oh, okay. Bold choice, Cotton.
Look, it's the first one that came to mind, and she is gorgeous. Her boyfriend scares me.
Yeah.
What were the other ones?
Has the intelligence of...
You know what? Has the intelligence of AOC.
Okay. Has a personality like...
AOC.
What if she also looked like AOC? Could you
honestly, I'd be okay with that.
Shoot for AOC?
I mean, realistically, I want somebody that looks good, both sweaty and not.
Okay.
I want
Gotta
somebody
get ready
who has,
for those monster truck rallies, bro.
I want
Someone
somebody
who's
that
not easily scared of fireworks, not too jumpy.
not too jumpy, can protect me. I want somebody with the intelligence and critical thinking skills of AOC. That's really where her ability to be empathetic and recognize what a regular person does day in and day out. And the personality, I don't know. I want somebody who hosted the Golden Globes.
Was that Nikki Glaser?
Nikki Glaser, yeah.
Yeah, her personality. Somebody funny. Somebody that like can have a good time.
Again, also could look like her and have the intelligence of her as well. Wouldn't be opposed to that either. All right, good. I like that.
Yeah.
AOC being in there, that's a great selection.
Look, I'm here as the first person in the year of our Lord 2025 to say AOC 2028. Let's do it.
You're not the first person to say that already.
I am.
But
I am not the first person.
The first person on this podcast to say AOC 2028.
I'm here for it.
I support it.
All right, Matt. What is the weirdest thing you've ever Googled?
If I know. I just Googled something weird.
Wouldn't it be cool if Google had a feature like you search something and be like, no one's ever searched that term before? Like it would tell you.
Yeah.
You just have
Only
a weird
5
mouse.
people have searched this term.
All right, history. Okay.
No one else has ever searched AOC Monster Truck Rally before.
So, hold on. All right. I was just playing a game with somebody and we were talking about books. And I was talking about like smut books because it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I recently saw a video and I couldn't remember everything about it. So in my search history at 9:03 p.m. turkey smut.
What?
So there's a book about a were turkey. It's called
Cock Gobbler?
Stuffed by the were turkey. It's not even that exciting of a title. It's just stuffed by the were turkey. And this video I saw talking about it described a scene in a bathroom where this guy walks in on this girl and they start doing things. And then he reaches around, but his hand is covered in feathers. And he starts to. So anyway, turkey smut is probably the weirdest thing that I've Googled recently.
All right, I'm throwing
that
this out to the bracketeers. The new fan fiction that you have to write for Matt is turkey smut. I just want.
Sorry, hold on, let me grab my Kindle. What was it again?
Stuffed by the were turkey.
Stuffed by the were turkey. All right, I'm just gonna look that one up real quick. Have that later. All right, good to know.
Oh my god.
Okay, sure.
I don't know what I was expecting. That was not it.
That's what I'm all about. Subverting people's thoughts. Oh my god. My eyes are watering. Turkey smut.
All right, what do we got? One more each? Is that right?
I've got 2 more.
Oh, just kidding. If you could be an inanimate object for a day, what would you choose to be? And why?
I could be an inanimate object for a day. This feels like a very loaded question.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's not exactly how the question was worded when it was sent to me, but you know.
No, it was not.
Be an inanimate object for a day. I don't fucking know.
If you could be an inanimate object for a day, whose dildo would you choose to be? That's pretty much how it was worded when it was sent to me. And why is the answer AOC, apparently?
No, hold on. I respect AOC. I wouldn't just.
That doesn't
be
mean
her.
that she's not a woman who has needs that sometimes she takes care of herself.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I legit can't come up with anything that isn't dirty as just being an inanimate object. Fucking light pole. I don't know.
Just because you could brighten someone's day.
There
Sure.
you go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. What is your most irrational fear?
Okay. So when my anxiety is at its all-time highest, I am never. So I've suffered from anxiety and depression for my whole life, but it doesn't generally take on any kind of like, oh, I'm going to do something or anything like that. It's more something bad is going to happen to me. So when I was really anxious, 2020 I'll use as an example. I was absolutely terrified that while I was sleeping, a meteor would crash through my apartment and kill only me. So because of that, I only slept on my couch for like a year. Because it would know that I was in my bed, and so I had to sleep on the couch.
Oh, it was like a mat-seeking meteor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably the most irrational. I also I hate bees. I just don't like bees. And I realized that I was afraid of mice once I came face to face with one.
Are you allergic to bees?
No. When I was a kid, so I was 7 maybe, I was playing outside my backyard, and I got a bee snuck up my shorts, and it stung me 7 times.
Ooh.
Right next to the testicles.
Ooh.
Like not on the testicles, but like the groin, like the
Close
legitimate
enough.
groin.
Yeah.
But I was like, it hurt, and my mom said, take shorts off. And so I ran inside, went to the bathroom, took my shorts off. Yeah, dude, I hate bees.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's a good reason to not be friends with them if they chose to do that to you.
Assholes.
What? We got what? One more each, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm keeping up now. What is a life skill that you feel like you'd like to either further build or develop on, or that you don't have at all and you'd like to acquire?
So I was gonna use this as the like advice that you would give earlier. I have multiple friends who are very comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't have that. And so if I was going to pick up a life skill that I was willing to put effort into, I'm not, by the way.
Don't actually want this.
I don't actually want this. No, I mean, I do, but I also don't want to like make myself uncomfortable. But being comfortable being uncomfortable is a difficult skill. We all know Derek. We're going to give a shout out to Derek. He is the first person that I recognized has that skill, the willingness to like be uncomfortable to further work or his understanding or relationships, etc. And I've just never really had that. And I think that it would be very helpful to have, but I don't want to practice it. So
yeah,
the only way to achieve it is immersion therapy, and I'm not interested.
And I'm not willing to do that.
All right.
Last question, Matt. If I were to summon you using black magic, what 5 objects would I need to put in the pentagram to summon you?
A chalice filled with Diet Pepsi.
For sure.
Right? That's
room temperature.
That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
An earbud.
Okay.
Almost always have an earbud in.
Yeah.
Some clothing from Target. Just a piece of clothing from Target. Trying to think. So normally you have like air, fire, water.
Oh, you're going way too deep.
And spirit. So my water would be the Diet Pepsi. My earth would be the clothes from Target. Air would be the earbud.
AirPods, yeah, sure.
Although I'm a Samsung person, so yes. Either way. So then fire. A 'Tis the Season candle from Bath and Body Works is the best scent in the world.
All right.
And then
I didn't realize that composed 5 or a fifth of your personality, but okay.
I don't think you understand. I love the way Christmas smells. And it smells like 'Tis the Season from Bath and Body Works. And then spirit would be a fantasy novel.
It's like a specific fantasy novel?
Turkey smut.
I mean, turkey smut. I would say generally there would probably need to be like a dragon in it.
Okay.
Yeah. There is dragon
gonna
smut,
fuck
by
a
the way.
turkey.
No?
Carefully.
Yeah.
They're all shapeshifters, all right?
The complete Animorphs anthology.
It's funny because I have looked up adult Animorphs many times, and it's not good.
I imagine that's a lot of Rule 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how you would summon me. And then you would have to say the Green Lantern Oath.
Through darkest day. No.
Blackest... No.
Through,
In brightest day, in blackest night,
yeah, there you go.
no evil shall escape my sight. But those who worship evil's might, beware my power. Green Lantern's might. Look, I've got a Green Lantern tattoo. Don't tell DC; they'll sue me. Yeah.
Should it be a Green Lantern comic book in the fifth thing?
No.
Fantasy
It's just got to be
novel?
the incantation. Yeah, I would say fantasy
Okay.
novel. It's a big part of my personality.
Gotcha.
I like escapism in general.
Matt, I appreciate you taking this deep dive into your immersion therapy and getting uncomfortable in this scenario.
Yeah.
How do you feel coming out of the hot seat? You've survived.
We need some preparation H. No, it's not bad. This was good. This is fun. So here's the thing. I like learning about people. I also like talking about random shit that I've experienced. So no, I think this is fun. I think that people will enjoy this, and I'm really excited to warm Dan's ass up next week.
That sounded wrong. I'm really excited about the Turkey Smut Monster Truck fan fiction that our bracketeers are going to write.
Look, any bracketeers that will write that, realistically write it, not just like put on a piece of paper, like with your shitty handwriting. I mean, like novelize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a big ask at all.
We can be best friends.
That's the prize in return.
You'll get
I
a
call
sticker.
movie rights. I want
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
rights.
we'll give you a sticker.
I'll send you a sticker.
BrackUSallogy sticker. All right. Well, as always, we want to thank everyone for listening. Again, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask the co-hosts, you can find us on all the social medias at BrackUSallogy, BrackEtallogy. We are on not all the social medias because some of them are total bullshit. But for now, we're still on Facebook. We're still on TikTok. We're on Blue Sky. Some of those might change. Who knows? We have a Discord. What else? We have YouTube. Matt and I are on Twitch. We stream regularly. Not regularly. We stream pretty often, playing everything from Fortnite to Rocket League to Demonologist. That one's my favorite because Matt gets super uncomfortable.
Look,
So check us out on
legitimately,
stream.
I was so scared when we played the other night.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Check us out. Give us a follow. It's super helpful. As a reminder as well, speaking of follows on Twitch, Monday, March 10th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Coming up right around the corner, we are going to have our live best Mario game bracket. So make sure again you're following and ready to see that on Twitch.
I don't want to completely call out all of the bracketeers, but at least one bracketeer took the day off, or at least the second half of the day off, so that they could watch it.
Yeah, that's crazy. But appreciate it.
Yeah.
What else? Thanks, Aaron O'Donnell, for the music here at the beginning and end of every episode. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
Oh,
No, I think we're
I just
All right.
realized that I didn't take off all of the stickiness to my new monitor. That was a nice surprise.
That is isn't that such a good feeling? All right. Well, in that case, then every seat I sit in is a hot one. I'm Scott.
I'm no longer on the hot seat now, Charles. Matt Robison.
And I'm going to be on the hot seat. Dan Default.
Yeah. Bye-bye.